Welcome to Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. Coming up, Washington and Mount Pleasant face each other on the soccer pitch. But first, today's top stories. U.S. Senator Joni Ernst visited Kelowna to observe the town's residential construction initiatives, including student-built housing projects, ongoing work at the South Town subdivision, and expansion efforts at the Pleasant View retirement community. She was impressed by the community's efforts and said that the rural housing needs are everywhere and it's essential to figure out how to solve them. During a Q&A session with employees at Slobok Enterprises, Ernst discussed infrastructure funding, particularly for broadband installation, and suggested that federal efforts should focus on deregulation for smaller broadband providers. In response to a question about gun control, Ernst said she was, quote, big Second Amendment person, and called on states to allow inclusion of certain juvenile criminal records in federal firearm background checks. She was open to looking at more federal incentives for such initiatives, but said that the status quo policies were already significant. The City of Washington is offering downtown investment grants, or DIG grants, for businesses in the Main Street District to improve their buildings' curb appeal. Downtown businesses have until May 1st to file letters of intent for grants up to $50,000. However, applicants must secure 3-to-1 matching funds and have a project cost between $100,000 and $200,000. Only buildings in the Main Street District are eligible. Previous grant users include Colin Plus LLC and Frontier Restaurant. Grant winners often use the money to renovate second-story areas after years of non-use. Letters of intent are submitted to Main Street and then reviewed by the organization's design committee, which makes a site visit. Selected projects are sent to the Main Street Board for approval and then to the city for funding approval. Main Street Executive Director Samantha Meyer said that the grants could improve the curb value for the entire square area. Several towns in Henry County held Easter egg hunts and family fun activities on Saturday. In Mount Pleasant, families lined 4 sections of Central Park to gather 10,000 eggs that were spread out for the children through 5th grade to find. The event was sponsored by the City of Mount Pleasant, Hy-Vee, Optimist Club of Henry County, Hearth and Home Technologies, and Walmart. Trenton also held an Easter egg hunt in Trenton Park with activities including lunch, raffles, bounce houses, and face painting. Wayland had an afternoon egg hunt sponsored by the local Lions Club, where traditional egg hunt activities were held with many new egg hunters taking part. The events were held outdoors with beautiful spring weather, and the Easter Bunny and his sister were present at some of the activities. The Mount Pleasant Fire Department held their annual pancake breakfast on Saturday morning from 6 to 10 a.m. to raise funds for the department. Firefighters and volunteers arrived early to prepare for the event, cooking pancakes and sausages to serve the community. The event saw a record-breaking number of attendees with over 920 people served breakfast. The department raises funds through a free will offering and a silent auction item. All proceeds from the event will go towards the purchase of electrical vehicle safety equipment. The department expressed gratitude to the community for their support and turnout at the event. The breakfast was followed by the community Easter egg hunt in Central Park, which saw many mentions from other community organizations. Jane Ann Boutique celebrated the expansion of their shop with a ribbon-cutting ceremony in Mount Pleasant. The store is located in the lower level of the building that houses Van de Hout Chiropractic. Shop owner Kathy Brune, her mother Sarah Welsher, and daughter Riley welcomed guests to the celebration, offering refreshments and a chance to sign up for a drawing. Brune is proud to offer a variety of merchandise, ensuring that everyone can find something in her store. She said she wants to have something for everyone from 10 to 100 years old. The store offers clothing ranging from small to double XL, accessories of all shapes and colors, and even selections of cups, keychains, and more made specifically by Riley. The expansion of the shop happened gradually with the addition of more racks, slowly filling up the back of the store. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the weather and sports. Bring the kids and share the memories from steam engines, antique cars and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and horses. Maybe your memories are of great food from the North Village to the Log Village, or going to one of the amazing concerts. This is the place where memories are made. Make plans now to enjoy the history of the past at the 2023 Midwest Old Thrashers Reunion, August 31st through September 4th in Mount Pleasant. Visit oldthrashers.com for more details. Welcome back to Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. We have a 5-day forecast coming up, but first, obituaries. David N. Hennessy of Mount Pleasant passed away on April 5th at the age of 85. Arrangements are pending at Olson Powell Memorial Chapel. Oscar Keith Pencil of Libertyville passed away on April 1st at the age of 89. A celebration of life will be held at 10:30 a.m. April 14th at Benner Funeral Home. Sir Hampton of Fairfield passed away on March 12th at the age of 78. A massive Christian burial will be held at 10:30 a.m. April 15th at St. Mary's Catholic Church. Benner Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. That was obituaries. It is now time for your 5-day forecast. Today, the weather has been beautiful with sunny skies and a high of 72. Temperatures will gradually rise throughout the week, with tomorrow being 77 and mostly sunny. On Wednesday, it'll be 79 degrees with clear skies. The skies will remain clear on Thursday with a high of 80. Finally, on Friday, the high will be 81 and it will be mostly sunny. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at sports.
Protection is important, especially when you're talking about your dreams, which is why we're going to keep you covered with plans that can save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. That's protection.
Welcome back to Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. It is now time for sports. A handful of area teams were at Case Field in Washington on Thursday, and one of them walked out with a win. The Mid-Prairie girls won a competitive team race with 130 points. The Mount Pleasant girls and Washington boys each finished third, and the Washington girls and Mount Pleasant boys both finished fourth. The Mount Pleasant girls had 3 wins on the day, 2 of which came in the field. Ella Ensminger won the shot put, and Savannah Slobodnik won the discus throw. Also winning for Mount Pleasant was Rihanna Van Deur in the 400-meter hurdles. Washington's Iris Dahl won the 800-meter run. The Washington boys scooped up 4 wins on the day, including 2 distance wins for Micah Reese. He won the 1600-meter run and took the 3200. Braden Hartman had a huge performance in the shot put, throwing 56 feet for another Demon win. Ethan Patterson won the 100-meter dash. The Mount Pleasant boys had a winner in Will Davidson, who took the 110-meter hurdles. Washington Mount Pleasant boys soccer squared off for the first time this season on Thursday night. The Demons, who had a hot streak against the Panthers in the past few years, won their 5th straight game in meetings between the two squads 5-0. With the victory, it's 3 straight wins to start the season for Washington. The Demons have yet to give up a goal, outscoring opponents 22-0. The Demons' Ariola and Raimundo are creating a lot of offense this season. Currently, the two have career assists of 18 and 17 respectively. Both of those numbers are Washington records. Mount Pleasant moves back to 500 after a 1-0 start to the season. One of the wildest streaks in high school soccer continued on Thursday evening. The Washington Mount Pleasant girls soccer teams, which had played in a ridiculous 6 straight overtime games, remarkably made it 7. For the first time in the streak, the game went past double overtime as Washington held off Mount Pleasant 3-1 in a shootout after a 2-2 deadlock in regulation. Washington will continue the Southeast Conference schedule with a road game at Fort Madison today. Mount Pleasant will host Keokuk. For the 2nd straight meet, the Washington boys golf team reigned in a Southeast Conference golf match, this time in Fort Madison on Thursday. The Demons ended the day at 157, beating out Fairfield's 167 for first place. Mount Pleasant was 4th at 188. Washington's Roman Roth won medalist honors, shooting 36 on the day. Rajan Roth and Luke Beanblossom were the next 2, shooting 60 each. Mount Pleasant was paced by Nate Disming, who finished the day at 42. Nick Matheny shot 46, and Reese Kaufman ended at 47. The SEC boys golf team will go at it again today when the conference meets up in Keokuk. Thursday was a great day for the Mount Pleasant boys tennis team. The Panthers were big winners over the Bloodhounds of Fort Madison 9-0. It was a complete sweep for the Panthers as they didn't give up a single set to the Bloodhounds in singles or doubles. The win moves the Panthers to 3-0 on the season. Mount Pleasant will be back in action on Monday on the road at Fairfield. That's the news for Southeast Iowa. I've been your host, Nick Steffens. This has been your news break, and I will see you next.